News. It's 12 noon.
Happening now on FiOS 1 News, an overnight fire tears through a home in Nutley. Investigators are now searching for the cause, and we are on the scene with the very latest. The governor tightens laws on so-called ghost guns. Guns without serial numbers are often a favorite for criminals. Plus, a break for the wallets of Hackensack commuters. They can now get a free ride to catch the morning train. The news starts right now.
FiOS 1 News, Daytime Edition.
And good afternoon, I'm Brian Webb. Thank you for watching. Your top stories in a moment. First, we want to check the forecast. Here's meteorologist Jeff Banson with a look at some big changes heading our way. Right, Jeff?
Good afternoon, Brian. Well, this morning started harmlessly enough, even some sunshine as the sun came up. Clouds quickly overspread the region, and now we've got widespread shower activity, albeit very light, but certainly want to make sure you have that umbrella this afternoon. Check that out. Cold enough air to our north and west that we have some snow showers going on just north of Allentown. Now, the real heavy stuff gets here tonight, and for that reason, we have a flash flood watch for all of North Jersey. That is until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Big difference in temperatures depending on where you are right now. 56 in Manahawk and 53 in Monmouth Beach, 50 in Jersey City. Much chillier up into Morristown, 44 there, and all the way in Sussex, you're at 40 degrees currently. Winds out of the east 5 to 10 miles per hour, and they'll stay that way through the afternoon. We're going to see that rain picking up as we head through this evening, so get ready for some heavy rain tonight. A cold weekend coming up. Stay tuned for that.
An investigation is underway in Essex County where an overnight fire tore through a home. Luckily, everybody made it out okay. Now the search is on for how it started. FiOS 1's Arnold Godoy is in Nutley with more.
That fire broke out inside of this home behind me here on Glendale Street. As you can see, fire crews are still here. They're beginning to pack up, though. We want to give you a closer look at the damage left behind the side and the roof of that home, charred and blackened after that fire. Neighbors today telling me that they're shocked by what happened.
They better get a whole new house.
All right, a lot of damage.
Yes, a lot. But nobody got hurt, so that's the main thing. Right. The cops said, the policeman said, that's the most important thing.
This is the fire that burned through that home on Glendale Street between Passaic and Patterson Avenues. The fire captain confirming no one was injured. He says one woman was inside. She got out with minor injuries and taken to a local hospital. Crews arrived here around 3:30 this morning to find the fire had started on the second floor. Flames coming from the roof and smoke billowing toward the sky. It took firefighters an hour to get it under control. Neighbors seeing what's left behind say it's important to take precautions.
You just have to make sure your electric is good. You got to make sure you have no burning candles, things like that. You just got to be careful.
Fire crews are still trying to figure out what exactly caused this fire. As investigators worked, we spoke with the man who owns Nick's Barber Shop less than a block away. He's owned the shop since 1974. This scene reminding him of a close call he had recently.
Last year, I had a candle that I left it lit in the barber shop, and there was no plate underneath.
He says something in the shop caught fire, but fortunately, a passerby noticed it and was able to call for help to put it out. But ever since then, he's set a strict rule.
And I said to myself, no more candle.
And that's a good precaution to have in place. As we said before, there was a woman inside when this all started. She was able to get out safely. Now investigators are trying to figure out how this all started. We're in Nutley. Arnold Godoy, FiOS 1 News.
A fallen electrical pole with live wires is causing concern for some residents in Linden. You can see Linden police and utility workers on the scene. This is John Street. They tell us nobody was hurt and there is no power outage in the area. They still don't know what brought it down yet, but the street was blocked off just as a precaution. Now to the heroic actions by state troopers who saved a driver's life. Check this out. Dramatic scene caught on dash cam video shared by state police. It shows troopers Thomas O'Connor and Christopher Warwick pulling an unconscious man out of a burning car. This happened on Route 42 in Gloucester Township. The car was up against the guardrail, as you see, with the man's foot on the gas pedal. Somehow they managed to pull him out just as the fire spread inside the car. The driver and the officers are all okay. In Franklin Township, authorities say an 82-year-old woman was beaten to death by her own son. It happened in their home on Haverhill Place Wednesday evening. Dalton Criscombe Jr. was hospitalized for evaluation after police found the 60-year-old man throwing things from a second-floor window and refusing to cooperate with officers. He's been charged with murdering his mother, Roberta Ann Taylor, who died from blunt force trauma. No word on the weapon used or on the motive. After months of infighting, debate, and mistreatment allegations, the city of Newark now has a new animal shelter. The city announced it's partnering with St. Hubert's Animal Welfare Center in Madison starting today. Newark cut ties with the Associated Humane Society this week after the group announced it would no longer take animals from the city. Both sides have been in contract negotiations since last year until the former director of the shelter was arrested for allegedly mistreating animals. This new partnership with St. Hubert's is temporary. The city's looking into possibly developing its own shelter in the near future. A Plainfield dog breeder accused of selling sick puppies is no longer allowed to own any more animals. The sentence for Susie Bordavales was imposed yesterday. She's also on probation and must pay back $30,000 to her clients. The 38-year-old pleaded guilty in June to animal cruelty. Authorities say they found 19 puppies in unsafe and unsanitary conditions during a raid on her home back in March. And many of the pups she sold apparently died after going to their new homes. Governor Murphy signs what he calls the nation's strongest ban on so-called ghost guns, or guns with no serial numbers, often used by criminals. FiOS 1's Emily Druby has more on what it means and why he did it.
Effective, by the way, this law is effective immediately. The law of the land.
Hours after Americans woke up to the news of a mass shooting at a California bar, Governor Phil Murphy signed legislation to ban both ghost guns, which are weapons that have no serial numbers so they're untraceable, and guns made by 3D printers.
We dedicate today and all of our efforts going forward to the simple and common sense premise that mass murder is not the price we have to pay for the Second Amendment.
The bill outlaws 4 new crimes, including making it illegal to make a 3D printable gun or distribute the designs to make one, criminalizing the making, selling, and or possession of a covert firearm, which are guns disguised as other items like a cane, and of an undetectable firearm made from materials not recognizable by a metal detector like plastic, and also making it illegal to purchase parts to make a ghost gun, which is a gun that can be assembled using parts bought individually or through a kit that doesn't have a serial number.
We're here to close a dangerous loophole in our gun laws.
And so today there is no question that printable guns and ghost guns are deadly, and selling them in New Jersey is illegal.
Gun rights advocates have called this legislation redundant, saying it's already illegal to manufacture firearms without a state manufacturer's license, and that people who can't buy guns also can't make guns. This signing comes months after Murphy signed a package of 6 gun-related laws that tightened firearm standards in the state. In New Jersey, Emily Druby, FiOS 1 News.
The head of the MTA is stepping down after only a year on the job. Joe Lhota calling it quits this week, no reason given. Vice Chairman Fernando Ferrer will take over as acting director, according to the governor's office. 64-year-old Lhota is the 4th high-profile departure after Governor Cuomo's successful bid for a 3rd term. Lhota was appointed chairman last year during rising delays on the subway system, but by September, those delays fell to their lowest point since February 2016. Still to come, paying it forward. He was once taking food from a food bank. Now he's handing it out. Coming up, how he turned his life around and his message to others down on their luck. That's next.